Hey everyone, and welcome back to
Hey.
a new episode of the new Byte Podcast after, I think, 2 weeks of a break that we sadly had to take because, one, I needed a break just from working, and the others were busy with university.
Yes,
I guess that's okay.
university.
Emily, you're done with everything right now, so you're back?
Yeah.
It's amazing, right? But you're not the
It is
only one.
amazing.
Actually, you also have a guest back, but that guest is not a guest. It's actually coming, and it's Dan. Dan is also back again. Woo!
I'm back!
Yay!
Hey! I'm back!
Awesome. Looking good, man. Welcome back. It's been a long while.
Thank you so much. It has been a while.
Woo, how are you doing, man?
It's good to have you back.
I am tired, but I'm glad. I'm very glad. I've done all of my coursework has been done. So now on to my dissertation, and my exams are done. So that's good. Way.
Awesome.
Everything is good. Everything is good.
Yes, absolutely. So guys, I didn't know if you've seen it already on the stream. Our background is a little different today because there is going to be a Battlefield 5 reveal happen apparently right after our podcast, but the YouTube live stream says it's going to happen in 2 minutes. So I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen. We assume that we'll have a countdown that will just start in 2 minutes and that will go on for an hour, which is weird because, well, who needs like 1 hour before the actual live stream starts, but okay. But in the meantime, we'll actually do our podcast. So for the regulars, especially the ones that will see the recording or hear the recording, we'll do our podcast for now, and later on, we'll also do our reaction of what is going to happen down there in Los Angeles when the Battlefield V reveal is going to happen.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it.
Same.
Same.
Same. There's a lot of talk. Some people saying that it's going back to World War II. Some people saying going to World War One. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But I for one am definitely looking forward to it.
Yep. So I'm turning the background back again for the podcast time being because, well, we got to keep this scheme going. But yeah, I'd say let's start about what we have played. So I guess, Emily, what have you been doing? Did you even have time to play games?
So as I had exams coming up, I didn't really have time for any computer or console games. But I did spend quite a lot of time on my phone, and I was like, oh, I need a nap play, which I did actually find a game called Insta Life, and
Okay.
it's a game that's it's a simulation of life, and it's they throw all these choices and things at you, and you can do certain things with it. But it's actually really fun. Well, for someone new, yeah. But I so.
But check out the
simulation
page
kind of
that's getting
games.
to your Inst Live,
Yeah.
like Inst Coffee Games.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just seeing the notes and questions. Like, well, what the hell? Okay.
Yeah. It's really addictive. Yeah.
Release a platinum album at the age of 17 or die of old age, only having a few qualifications in school and not much else. The choice is yours. Pass your driving test and die in a fatal accident a year later, or become a famous musician and become restricted in what you can do. Will you go to university or give it a miss? Okay.
Yeah.
So how did your regular turn or whatever session turn out to be?
Session. Well, I play it all the time. It's actually
So it's an ongoing thing. It's not like you have I don't know one life and you play for 10 minutes.
Each life is it's what you make it. Some you can progress by doing a year of the person's life because it's just randomly produced somewhere a male in Slovakia and yeah.
It looks like a modern version of a text adventure, right? Because in the olden times, you just write in answers to what the machine gives you, and the machine creates a story around your answers. So it seems to be like that, right?
Yeah.
Not much graphics going on, just text.
No. To be honest, I think it's in the early stages of it, like life as an app.
Seems to be interesting.
Yeah, it is quite interesting. And it's just really easy to play. You don't have to have any internet. It's great.
Okay. That's always useful, especially when. Sorry, that's always useful, especially when you're around where there's no internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
So, has anyone else been playing games?
I don't know, Dan, have you had the time, or because I've been seeing you doing live streams from your dissertation work, which is actually recreating the university building in Unity.
Yeah. So I've been doing one of the university buildings on my personal Twitch, and that's part of my dissertation. So I'm recreating that. I have been tiny bit naughty during when I probably should have been studying a bit more. I played recently a game called I just had it up here and I forgot it.
Roblox?
No, Hand of Fate 2.
Nice. The second one?
2.
Yeah.
Cool. How's the second one going?
It's fantastic. It's a bit of a continuation from the first one, but it branches out the story a lot more and allows you to choose which paths you want to take, and even which parts of paths. So it goes quite in depth with how far you can go with your different character and everything. I've been playing that. I also played some Sea of Thieves. Yar.
Oh,
that was good. That was good fun while it lasted. Playing solo was a little bit boring. I wish I could play with you guys, but so I played a little bit of Sea of Thieves. That was good.
Cool.
And last but not least, I started painting some miniatures while listening to informative videos on different aspects of my course. So I'll see if I can get, this one is a werewolf. I'll see if I can get a good shot of that.
That's cool. Okay.
So I been painting those, and I think I'll paint a few more of those. So you may see me play a bit of maybe stream some more of my dissertation, and then do some streams with me painting some miniatures.
Yeah, sounds good.
What about you, House Test? What did you play?
Well, because I was just actually taking time off my regular work and didn't have to study in that time. Yay. I took the time to go back to a few games. Let's start like this. So I did mainly two things. I tried to play more of Halo, which I owned the Master Chief Collection on for my Xbox One X. And apparently this one will get another treatment, another Xbox Enhanced update too.
Ooh.
Which is quite interesting because it was already in the Master Chief Collection, like updated to at least 1080p and other things. But just recently they had a patch for Halo 5, which gave the game the actual treatment that the game deserved, because back in the release time when there was the Xbox One only, the game didn't run that well. It was quite, well, not nice looking in graphics terms, like lots of blurry things, and performance wasn't that good. And for Halo 5, they actually did it. Now it's running in 1080p or even 4K on the X with like how it's supposed to be, I'd say. And I'm hoping that the Master Chief Collection, which is just sort of the remaster versions of 1, 2, and the ports of 3 and 4, that these will look even nicer than they already do. Because I love to play like back and forth with the CE version to play the classic graphics and the new graphics, which already look like retro graphics again, which is quite fun to see. Like you're going back in time and think, well, that's even older, like there's even less details in the game than the updated version. And apparently for the second game it looks even better, so yeah, I'm trying to get back into that. I'm just having not that much fun because as it happens, like games that are old still have an old feeling to it, and sometimes I'm not that much of a fan to it anymore. So I was hoping that the two of us can actually go through the campaign, and I already asked you, you said, yeah, the whole thing can be co-op. So that's going to happen soon, once we have the time and the right place to do it. So I'm really looking forward to that, because I think, like, the missions are fun, but for me alone, who's at times just lost, just thinking, okay, where do we need to go now? It's really cool to see how we can do that together, at least. And I'm not in focus anymore. And I'm back.
All the focusing.
Yeah.
But no, I'm looking forward to doing that with you. I've enjoyed Halo since I was very, very young, and I love it to pieces.
Yep.
So yeah.
The other thing that I did was last weekend, you may have seen that if you follow our Instagram, instagram.com/thenewbyte, I was on a convention where there was partially anime and what's it? When you...
Manga?
No, not manga, when you cosplay. So lots of cosplayers there and
Did you cosplay?
No, I didn't. And that was one side of the other side was like gaming, and it's called the Dokumi in Düsseldorf. And they try to bring in more game stuff right now for this year, and that it looked quite good. Like, it was a huge hall where they had like an League of Legends tournament happen live on stage, which was quite cool. Like, I would actually love to sit for an hour there and just see the pros play. But I had my little sister with me. She's 23 now. She's not 21 anymore. She's 23. Sorry. And you're getting old, right? So I was just like, how would she think?
Just you. Just you.
Yeah, so she was with me. We had a good time seeing things and all that. And we actually also played some retro games there, which was very nice. We played on the Sega Mega Drive that Tetris game, where you can play one on each side, and the first person who's basically loses the game. So it's not like other games like Puyo Puyo, where you're getting sort of blank stones on your side, which you can't erase unless you erase the whole row, I think. So it's just basically who has the longest breath to win. But it was nice to do so. And here's the bad thing that they had. They also had retro games to buy. So yeah, I was there and thinking like, oh, maybe some PlayStation 1 games. Like, I don't have much of them here because my family or my parents didn't buy me a lot of them. And now that I have the money, I have less interest in it. But the cool thing about PlayStation 1 games, you can still play them in the PlayStation 3 without a problem. So I went in for, okay, maybe let's see what they have. So I got the original Rainbow Six game and the original Gran Turismo, because I actually like the Gran Turismo 5 right now on PlayStation 4 so much. The whole reason why I got the Logitech wheel to drive that, it's amazing. Going back to the first game, which was the first of the, I think, 11 games that I bought, because I bought a lot of PlayStation 2 games as well, sadly. So I played Gran Turismo 1 first, and it's amazing. They only have like 4 tracks, 20 cars, so it's really minimal. They don't even have like real name locations to the maps, which is completely different right now. And it's quite fascinating to see. So yeah, I did that. I'm not sure if I want to do a video about that, but maybe in the future. And the cool thing that I also got was the original PlayStation 2 releases of Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3. And even Dragon Ball games like Dragon Ball Budokai 1, 2, 3, and so on. I even got a Half-Life for PlayStation 2, so that's going to be really interesting to compare that with the PC version.
Yeah.
So that's just a small thing that I did in my free time. Bless you.
Thank you.
All right, that's it, I guess. So, how about we go on with news?
Yeah.
Because going back to the Battlefield live stream, it's actually a countdown that's still going on for 50 minutes.
Oh.
So, yeah, they're going to take the time so we can do actually our podcast the regular way and then turn over to the reveal, which is nice. All right. So, the first news that I actually had here is basically it's lame to say that because, well, it's just about the Battlefield 5 reveal or Battlefield V. Nobody knows. I'd even say it's just like Battlefield 2, but they put the two ends together, so it's forming a V. Like, I'm serious. Like, they could do that. They could do it. Like, actually, it's Battlefield 2 because after 1 comes 2 again. And everyone would be like, yeah, but you already have 3, 4, so whatever.
It's actually it's called Battlefield Private because
Ooh.
first insignia.
Hey, nice. Who knows? Yeah, so they had already a little teaser going live, but I think for the live audience, they see it in roughly an hour, and for the recording audience, they'll have our actual reaction stream in a separate video, so we can actually skip this for the podcast right now, maybe talk about it next week if we know more.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. What we also have is Rage 2. And now you're speechless.
Rage 2. Yeah, I am speechless. I did not expect Rage 2 to be announced. I didn't. I was kind of hoping it was something else, but I wasn't expecting Rage 2.
I mean, just looking at it, it's developed by Avalanche Games, who also did Mad Max the game, and of course Just Cause. So these two already are great games, and now they are working together with it to bring us Rage 2. And it seems like it's more of an open world game again, with different sectors, and brings the craziness of regular post-apocalyptic scenery, which is nice. Yeah,
some of these screenshots that you can that I can see, they really kind of look like a cross between like Doom and Mad Max, and
which is basically what they're going for, I guess, because they're using of course the tech engine, which is also what the Doom ran on from 2016. And I hope it's actually just like Doom, but outside, so just slaying things and having fun and not really thinking too much about story, which I don't really expect to happen. And there's also the aspect where you can see right now on the trailer on stream. They will also have racing and car battles, actually, which also was in the first game. Now it's coming in the second game again. So that looks really amazing. Lots of fun things to happen. And I don't think they already have a release date, so it might be even 2019. And so that's basically it for Rage 2, what we have right now. Not too much, but enough, at least for me to say, I want to play that.
Yeah, I think it definitely looks interesting, and as you say, there's not a release date yet, so you can speculate loads of things. But one thing that always kind of annoys me a little bit whenever E3 comes around, or Gamescom, or EGX, or any of those where they release a trailer, I always look at it and go, "That's a cool trailer."
Yep.
But that was done with a computer playing the game, and then they can get the best frame rate and the best graphics out of it. What does it look like when you actually play it? And a lot of people call like, "Oh, it's been downgraded." No, it hasn't been downgraded. It's just been, it's just this is how a computer sees it, with like doing absolutely nothing else apart from playing the game. And it's on the highest spec computer that money can buy. So
it's like the one where they did the Battlefront 2, what was it called? Real time lighting. What's it called? That lighting technique.
Oh right, yes. It's like Bloom or something. Real time Bloom or
whatever. So it's basically incredibly realistic looking thing, which was thought to be impossible for a while, and now it's happening in real time. But whatever. So Rage 2, that's that. There's another thing actually that's quite sad, at least to me, and I think also to Emily, because apparently, we both had a good time with it, right? So Bosky Productions, the developers behind Radical Heights and Lawbreakers, shut down. Now, like a week ago, Cliff Blazinski went on to Twitter and actually tweeted out that's over, sadly. You can see it on the website, thenewbyte.com, of course. There's a big announcement. And it basically just says, like, it didn't work, they needed money, and Radical Heights didn't bring in the money, and now it's too late. And Cliff is now taking a break from doing games and focusing on family, but we also saw how he tweeted about, like, he's really getting restless and wants to do work again, because I guess if you're like into that and your heart is into making games, you can't just say, I'm stopping now, and then you're done with it. So it would probably still sort of keep him awake at night thinking about games. He showed a lot of cool things that his team worked on, like the first new update that would would have come. I don't know. That would be the next one for Radical Heights. Actually, had lots of cool features. It would have taken just 1 week. Like this week, we would have gotten that release of the new update, and I'm really sad that now, nothing's gonna happen again for that. The whole studio already is empty, and
Well, it was sad, but with coming off the back of something like Lawbreakers, where Lawbreakers was fantastic in terms of a game, but it was marketed absolutely horribly, and for the price that it was being asked for, it didn't justify the price. The price would have been fine if there was a single player mode with a story, maybe a campaign, but because it was just multiplayer match, pretty much just a more realistic version of Overwatch, then it just died. It can't hold. You can't expect a game to hold its own when it's the spitting image of something else. Even though through all the interviews they claimed, "Oh, it's not like Overwatch. It's not even close." It is. It's a multiplayer arena shooter. Like, what else? What else are you supposed to look at it like? We saw.
It's also like grim and like macho. Like even so people weren't really attracted to it. Other like Overwatch, where they're more friendly, welcoming, even colorful, happy things happening. Which, of course, some people don't like as well as other people didn't like Lawbreakers for the other reason. But there's always a big audience for more positive vibes, you know.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
the 90s are over.
Yeah, I definitely think that Lawbreakers could have done well. It's just the problem was it was designed as a hardcore multiplayer shooter that really focused on something like esports rather than something like just play with your friends. Because Overwatch is very esports oriented as well, but it also is play with your friends, and it has loads of relaxed modes that aren't focused on getting the objective, getting this, getting that, killing as many people as possible or something. There's some games in Overwatch where you play the match and it gives you random heroes, whereas that's something that would probably not have happened with Lawbreakers. But then again, oh well.
I mean, there are lots of things how Lawbreakers didn't do well, and the funny thing is, on the opposite side, Radical Heights did actually quite well for a while, but it just didn't caught on. Like, and there were a few Twitch streamers who were playing that at least once per day for a few minutes or every second day or so, just because it's so wonky and fun. And I guess, Emily, you can also say something about that. How did you like the game for what it was?
I liked the game because, like, it was just so fun, and, like, it was a free-for-all, and it was like a good like multiplayer game. Like, we played it a couple of times together, House and I, and just we really enjoyed it. But I think what it was missing, I think it was just marketed like all wrong, and it just didn't come out at the right time, because it came out when Fortnite was there, like, was already out. And Fortnite just literally exploded, and then this Radical Heights game came out, and I think like Fortnite just totally stole, like, just put like Fortnite in that, put Fort there. What am I saying? Radical Heights in the shadow.
Especially and then they had the Thanos update with Avengers when that hype was huge.
Exactly.
So Fortnite is just taking all the chances that it can get to be huge and everywhere, and it's amazing how Epic does that. And I can totally see why Epic did shut down the other game that did, I forgot the name, that whatever game.
Paragon.
It was also like a hero shooter thing, right? I think.
No, it was more. It was kind of like if you know the game. Damn, what's the game called? It's like League of Legends, but it's not League of Legends. It's
Smite?
Yes, Smite. Yeah, Smite. So if you thank you, my man. So yeah, Smite Smite was very similar to Paragon, but Paragon added things like shooting mechanics, and I loved Paragon. I played it so much. but I think the problem with Paragon was there was not. It was focused on wanting to build a professional esports side, and it had loads of stuff with that. But yeah, there was. I think that's one of the biggest downsides to games nowadays. People create them and go, "What's the best thing I can make money out of?" Oh, how about an esports scene? And that works, but only if it works naturally. Like, if a game naturally is fun to watch, then people want to watch it.
Yep, absolutely.
But it also has to be fun to play first, so...
Shall we move on? Because I'm thinking we're running out of time if we keep going about that. It's an amazing topic, but for now we just say thank you so much, Bosky, for the last 2 games that I played from them. Amazing work, and I hope everyone out there by the company will find a new job somewhere else. Lots of people were supportive and said, hey, if you are actually working at Bosky, we might have a place for you. So looks good for them, I hope, and that's just nice to see overall. Next up, we have... Oh, please, sorry.
Go.
Wow, your internet dropped and you just sounded like a robot saying, oh. I'm sorry.
It says I have good connection according to...
You sound fine now, but for a brief second you were just like...
Thank you.
Is that your pork training that you're trying to do?
Pork?
The pork training.
No. Oh my gosh. But I do love pork.
Yeah, you love porks.
So like the best.
What I love is Super Hot, and that's a little topic that I wanted to talk about briefly, because apparently there will be a Japan-themed spin-off of the game, so it's standalone, and it's also done by a Japanese studio. The guys over at Game Tomo are going to do their own take on it, with a new campaign, a few more items and weapons that we can see right now here. This is, for example, the menu. Looks amazing, and yeah. We certainly don't know much about it right now, other than it's just more of Super Hot, but in a game like Super Hot, just, hey, give me more of that. I'm happy about that. It's also one of the few games that I would actually love to play in VR. And the team also says VR is not in focus right now, but it will maybe come later as well. So that's amazing.
Definitely. Man, I was allowed to play Super Hot because a friend shared his account with me and I had it on it. I think I completed that game from start to finish in about 5.5 hours straight. I could not stop playing it. It was so much fun. But yes, I cannot wait to see the Japanese style thing that they're gonna have throwing stars. They already had katanas, so let's see if we can get some throwing stars up.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be nice. We're having fun right now with the chat for the people that are wondering, like, why are we looking all the time somewhere else? So tonight we have a few more guests than usual, and I'll thank you everyone for coming out today. I hope you like this show. I hope you like what we do here, and maybe we see you on a more regular basis. Let's hope so.
Hopefully, yeah.
But for now, let's continue on with the show. I guess Dan could do the next topic, which is about Battle Royale.
Oh, one of my... I've been enjoying playing MOBAs a lot, and especially something close to my heart, which came recently, was a game called Battle Royale, and Battle Royale is super, super fun. So they are having a Battle Royale mode, and like all games nowadays, Battle Royale mode is the mode to have. So their map is supposed to be for solos and duos, and it's supposed to be, what was it? Was it 3 times or 4 times? No,
20 times.
20 times bigger. Yeah. 20 times bigger than their normal maps. And their normal maps are not small. They're not tiny. They have a lot of room. So I cannot wait. I cannot wait to play some Battle Royale in Battle Royale. Man, it just sounds awesome saying it.
Quite cool. So yeah, that's gonna happen around July, and yeah, it's free to play. So I already downloaded the game, and I hope that we can have a few cool rounds together. Battle Royale mode will be either solo or duos, not more than that, which seems fair because they only have like 20 players in that game mode. So having 4 people teams in a 20-player mode seems weird because that would mean they only have like 5 parties fighting against each other. So yeah, limiting that to duos at max gives 10 teams, so that sounds like a good size.
10 or 20 teams, yes.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of variety, especially with Battle Right. It's a very tactical game.
Yep.
As there's not many escapes for some of the characters. So I would like to see, personally, on the map, I'd like to see either some points where it allows you to level up your character or add certain abilities, or even just refresh your health back to full. But I definitely think if people are going to do duos, there's going to be one person who is the attacker and one person who is the support. Who's going to be, their main job is just to heal their attacker. I would not. I would say it's possible for people to be able to go just attack and 2 attackers on a single team, but with the amount of tacticalness that you need as a team or teamwork to work together and evade as many people as possible, and then take out the ones that you do come in contact with, you're going to need a support and an ADC.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
All right. So
house test. There was a recent reveal of something, and I know you had some thoughts on it. Do you wanna tell us your thoughts?
Absolutely, yeah. We had the Black Ops 4 reveal, and I did my article about it last night. So a week after it actually got revealed. So doing a news article about that a week after the reveal happened sort of seems wrong. So I was thinking rather, okay, how can I do that my own way? And I did it by, bringing in my own thoughts about it, like talking about the things that I personally like, not just having the news roundups. It's more personalized, which is something that I try to do more than once per week, I hope. So let's see how that continues. And if you like that, of course, you can check that out on thenewbyte.com. And to sum it up briefly, it's just that, especially for Black Ops 4, where there's no campaign anymore. I like that they said instead of a campaign, they'll have more lore, like other games like Overwatch does. So there's interaction happening between characters maybe. There will be small movies and mini missions. So just lose one mission campaign, sort of, where there's a little story going on. And I like to see that happen. Apparently there will also be a link to other parts of the game, like, for example, the Blackout mode, which is the Black Ops styled Battle Royale game mode now. And we don't know how many players are in that Battle Royale mode, for example, but we know it's a really large map consistent of all the maps that we already had in the Black Ops universe. So from 1 to now the 4th one. And it might be one of the better games, at least I hope so, because we don't have many sort of finished games for Battle Royale. We have, of course, Epic's Fortnite, which is, I think, technically still in beta right now. It's always when I go into it, I think it's beta. I mean, it's running on update 3 point whatever, so I might be wrong. But that one is sort of the best developed, I'd say, with PUBG, which is technically out of early access. But let's be honest, like, it's not really running well on many systems, and even the networks analytics that we see from what's called Battle Nonsense, that channel on YouTube. It does a lot of amazing things for network testing on the multiplayer games. It just shows like it's not really done well for PUBG. And yeah, Radical Heights was now shut down, so what other games can we play now? So I was hoping that, since I like the Black Ops games from Call of Duty the most, I hope that this twist for the Battle Royale mode will actually be nice when it comes out.
Yeah, they seem to have a really interesting feature of, hey, remember those cool favorite guys like the Numbers Mason?
Yeah.
You can play as Mason in a Battle Royale. And that kind of made me go, crap, they're going to have them with special abilities that only that person has.
Yeah.
Damn it. Whereas, why couldn't we make our own character? Why can't we have the same features that we've had in all the multiplayer games, where it's been like, hey, you unlock a bunch of skins, you equip them, and that's your cool looking dude.
Yep.
I just don't see why they need to shoehorn the favorite characters thing in, like maybe have them as power-ups or something that you come across, like the Thanos, but it just seems so...
I think it's especially a twist on what they did so far, because they wanted to link characters actually to stories that the people have on the battlefield, instead of just stories from the battlefield. You know, it's more personalized. You attach yourself a little more to the game. If they're actually people that you can talk about. Like, I played as a Seraph and got my super, killed 5 people with all my bullets that I had, and that was amazing. Sounds different than, oh yeah, so my special ability was actually loaded up 100%, and now I could take down everyone. It's different if there's a name attached to it, right? Because I always noticed that with Rainbow Six Siege, where there's not just operators and attackers and defenders, they all have a name, they all have a certain ability, and of course they also have the regular parts like a wall that you can build, reinforcements, and of course weapons, bullets, and all that stuff. But if you link it to a name, it's getting more personal. You talk about it way more different, and you have also more members linked to names instead of just people having sort of interactions. Because especially if you are getting taken down, for example, by someone, if it's just a face, you say, "Oh, that dude got me well." But if you always say, "There's one Fuse player in Rainbow Six Siege which takes me down all the time," it sounds different, and it feels different, right?
Or it's just Fuse every single time. It's just Fuse.
That's just an example.
Yeah, if I think everybody, in terms of the whole community of first-person shooters, they're all holding their breath, going, "This is gutsy. Will a battle royale for this work? Because if it does work, then we're going to see Rainbow Six Siege battle royale. That's going to happen. Like, it would just be crazy not to, because everyone loves the operators. So you'd have to reduce the amount of operators. But
I don't know, man. I'd say if it's actually like successful, Ubisoft is not that much going into it. I'd rather say Ubisoft would go with Ghost Recon Battle Royale, maybe.
Yeah, Ghost
Recon
Recon Battle Royale.
Like in a South America setting, or what they already did with The Division. They go and do the Survival Part 2 in The Division 2, which is also being revealed in a few weeks at E3, and I'm very excited about that, and I hope this time Survival will be a part of the main game, not just a DLC. Or it will be a standalone game, I don't know. Yeah. Survival was great.
Oh, it was such a fantastic update. Like, it just made everything awesome. Like, I played it the day it came out, and I managed to get to like position 2. But the amount of like effort it takes to get there, it's like, if you're careful, you can get up to like the last 5 people alive. But then they have the rogue agents come in, and it's like, oh, I'm not prepared for any of this. And then you start losing your head, and it's crazy. Absolutely crazy, but so much fun.
Yep. Like Vijay, I guess, that I play a lot with. We also play The Division, and in the Underground DLC, they're actually hunters, which is super strong, and they have the ability to heal themselves lots of times, and they take out your equipment. They're just super deadly. And the first time we saw that happening, it was not just one, like in the Survival. There was actually a group of 3 and 4. And we screamed and shouted like, "Oh my god, nothing's working! There's a hunter! Ah!" We literally panicked so hard. It was amazing. And it was something that we just looked back and say, yeah, actually it was a fantastic moment. So these are the moments that actually, link to a game that is just memorable. So I hope that for Black Ops 4, with the more interactions between characters and the lore that they have, hopefully that will work out. Yeah. Something else that's actually working out quite well, apparently, is for Sega, the remakes of Yakuza games. Because we already have Yakuza Kiwami, which is the remake of the first one. We know the remake of the second one is coming, Kiwami 2. And of course, we also have Yakuza 6 being recently released on PlayStation 4. And of course, Yakuza 0, which was out last year, I think. And now we have also the confirmation that the PlayStation 3 titles of the Yakuza series, 3, 4, and 5, are also getting a remaster for PlayStation 4, which is amazing, and I love that, because I certainly missed out on that games, and having them on my PlayStation 4, the best version, with nice 1080p graphics and all that, is just cool, so more people are getting access to that.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've never played a Yakuza game, so...
Me neither.
Holy crap!
The big in Asia sale was quite good for me because I got Yakuza 0 and Yakuza Kiwami for around €12 together, so super cheap. And luckily, someone got a key for Yakuza 6, so we could test that out too. So I hope that will happen soon. But I think if I want to take a look into Yakuza 6, I also want to play at least the first 2 games. So yeah, that's also another thing that I have put on my pile of shame. But who knows? I have more time soon, I hope, to focus on that. And we lost Dan for a second. Hey, he's back.
Nope. No, you didn't.
Okay.
Didn't lose me.
Everything's fine. Yeah, but since we're talking about PlayStation 4, there's another thing that's quite interesting. And apparently, the PlayStation chief, Codera, announced that apparently the PlayStation 4 is entering its final life cycle in its existence.
Already?
And yeah, here's the thing. Like, this thing was announced at a finances meeting? Whatever. The dude that pay the money.
Financial meeting.
Yes.
Financial or
investors meeting.
Investors.
Yes, yeah, that was the word. I just didn't.
There we go.
Yeah. So they had a PlayStation. John Codera said that PlayStation was approaching the final phase of its life cycle as Video Gamer reports. Speaking during the format holders corporate strategy meeting via Wall Street journalist Takashi Mochizuki on Twitter, Codera noted that while this may negatively impact the fortunes of its games division, revenue from the likes of PlayStation Plus subscriptions will help offset any major decline. Here's the thing now. The console released 5 years ago in November 2013, and 5 years already is a good age for a console. Most of the consoles that we had so far were running around 6 years, and the PlayStation 3 was the last one that ran for 7, I think. So
I think it's still a bit premature. I honestly do think it's still a bit premature because they brought out the PlayStation 4 and they were like, okay, this is the PlayStation 4. This is the best. And then I can't remember if it was PlayStation Pro came out before Xbox One X came out. I'm not sure. It might have been around the same time.
Yeah.
But PlayStation Pro came out and they were like, no, this is the best PlayStation.
Yeah.
And now two years later from bringing out the PlayStation 4 Pro, they're going to be like, oh no, there's PlayStation 5. And then they're going to do something stupid like, oh yeah, all of those games that you bought for PlayStation 4, yeah, they're not compatible anymore. Ignore that.
I hope they actually do that. I hope that they will say, like, okay, PlayStation 4, the base version as a platform will not be supported starting, 2021. And that from that on, they have 2 or 3 more years just with the PlayStation 4 Pro.
Yeah.
Which hopefully will by that time cost around something like $300, which will be comparable to a PlayStation 4 Slim right now, I think.
Yeah. I'm just kind of a bit hesitant on why they think this is a good idea. Because what was it? PlayStation 3, they said it's not backwards compatible. You have to buy new PlayStation games. Yep. PlayStation 4, they said the same thing. Yep. And so far, only on the PlayStation 3 have they backtracked and gone, oh yeah, you can play PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 games.
You can't only play PlayStation 1 games. The very, very first iteration of PlayStation 3 was able to play PlayStation 2 games. After that, there was only the compatibility with PlayStation 1. So my hope actually back then when the PlayStation 4 released was, okay, my PlayStation 2 games now are able to be played on the PlayStation 4, so I don't have the PS3 and PS4 that I need to play 4 generations of PlayStation games, but sadly that didn't happen.
No, and that's where I think Microsoft really has the edge on this, where they're like, hey, you can play any game you want as long as you own it, and
it's
now
amazing.
With 360 games, it's like anything that's on our list. And their list is massive.
We even have original Xbox titles now being backwards compatible.
And it's crazy.
Amazing.
But
I will actually get the Xbox 360 release of SSX Free, which is around €20 at a used store that I know. And that's compatible now on my Xbox One X, which is amazing. So while people could say, like, oh, if you have a PC, you don't need an Xbox One X or even just a regular Xbox One S, I still say for people that love retro games and just want to have that one console connected to the TV instead of all of them, it's great that they are making it possible to have compatible versions on the new platform from those old titles. Still need to get them in some way, but I don't mind paying for that if I can have it now on my most recent console version, and even in better versions, I'd say, because it's now fully 1080p compatible or even sometimes 4K.
Yeah, I think that they, and unless they say the PlayStation 5, which I'm calling it because I don't know what it's going to be called, or even if they're going to release the same thing, but they need to have backwards compatibility or just give up.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's silly. Why would you not have backwards? Because with the backwards compatibility of the Xbox One X, I know several a store that I used to go to. They had loads of 360 games lining their shelves that they could not sell. As soon as backwards compatibility for 360 games was announced, people went in and bought their favorite game because they were like, "Yes, I'm get to play my favorite game now." So, and it reinvigorated their old catalog, which is what.
And coming back to that convention thing, like it's so easy to get old titles now these days because. While there's lots of games from the 80s and 90s, like back when the NES and SNES came around, those games are quite rare these days. But things from the early 2000s are not that rare right now. They're super cheap to get in a good quality. And now with the recent updates, you can get them to run in the best version for your recent TV. They don't look even too bad because, again, these older games, if you put them now on your 4K TV, even they look like crap. But the new versions are able to be rendered in higher resolutions with, of course, the same texture quality, but still, they're crisp, they're nice, they're running smoothly. So that's just a really big plus. And I think on the long run, Xbox One and that generation will still be one of the more favorite sides when we look back. Like, if we are in the 2030s maybe and look back to this generation right now, I think Xbox One will have a huge favor for itself because it was backwards compatible.
Oh, definitely. There's even if you hate, like, I am not a big fan of PlayStation, but I like their games. If I was the other way around, if I was a massive fan of PlayStation and didn't like Xbox, you can't deny that the backwards compatibility is just so on point. It's a necessity. Why even have a console if you can't play the old games? Because it's just even gets me. It's not even they didn't even have to try hard. They just ran an emulator on their console, running an emulator of a 360, and it's like that's the easiest thing to do. There's nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, you'd think that.
Absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, so house test because I'm talking about Xbox, PlayStation, PC stuff as well. What's coming up? What games are coming out? I want to know.
Okay, well, I'll have you know that lots of games are coming out very soon. Let me prepare something first. I need to put our complete list on the monitor here.
Okay. What does my wallet need to cry about?
Depends, my man. We have there we go. So, we wanted to do this week as well. Usually, we just do the next week. So, people that even listen to the recorded version, they still have the most recent list of games that are coming out for the following week. This time we'll do this week and next week. So, May 22nd, so yesterday, we had the release of the Mega Man Legacy Collection 1 and Legacy Collection 2 on the Nintendo Switch. Both being, one being sold, the first one being sold for $14.99 US, and the second one being sold for $19.99. So,
nice.
That's nice. Lots of games in there. The first collection is 4 games, and the other way around. The first game is, how many is it? Mega Man 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 6 games in the first collection, and 4 in the second one. Being more recent, that makes a little bit more sense, I guess. Yeah. So that's out yesterday, and we also have another big game out, and especially that one could be interesting because, as we talked about right now, Xbox doesn't have that many games, but this one actually is console exclusive to the Xbox, and that is State of Decay 2, which you can play also on a Windows 10 PC, of course. But if you're only a console player, of course, that is the game to get on the Xbox, and it only costs $29.99 US.
Yeah, I think this also is part of the Xbox Play Anywhere, which means that, hey, we are getting, you can play on your console, and then your friend can say, hey, I want to play, and then you switch over to your PC to play with your friend, and you still have all your progress saved, which is superb. Absolutely superb.
It's amazing.
Love it. Love it. I so love it when I was playing Sea of Thieves with that. What else? What else is
the
coming
next
out?
game
What's
is
the
also
next
something
one?
that you will like because it's also out since yesterday, and that is Ancestors Legacy.
Nice. Great game. I got to play it at last year's Gamescom, and I had such a great time with those guys. They were so kind in allowing me to come back to the booth after I spoke to them and got to see their game the first time, and I got to finish every single level, and it was so good. If you like Age of Empires and if you like anything to do with Vikings, you will want to pick this game up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, funny enough that you say it, there's also a game that I played last year, Gamescom, that's out right now. And since yesterday, we have I Hate Running Backwards. And the title literally says what it is about. It's about running backwards and shooting down things. And it's made by Binks Interactive, the guys that also did that puzzle game. That I forgot the name of it. How embarrassing.
Oh, no.
Of course, I can't find it right now. Wait. It was one of those cool puzzle games in the 3D world. Goddamn, I forgot about it. Yeah, so lots of fun. It's a couch co-op game, or you can play solo. You're just basically running backwards and shooting down enemies. And yeah, that's basically it. It's not online multiplayer, which is sort of sad because I would still love to play with you together. But that's one of those rare games that you can actually play together only on a couch in co-op modus. So that's another rare thing in that sense. And yeah, it looks just a lot of fun. And I can tell you, by having played it last year, the first versions that I had, I even have a shirt from the developers, need to say that. It's really fun, it's really cool. They have lots of different abilities. You can swing around with a hammer to stop attacks and all that. And yeah, it has the block art style, but I personally think that's even more charming for that game. And it's published, of course, by Devolver Digital, because who else could do a game like that? Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, also yesterday, Space Hulk Deathwing Enhanced Edition came out for both PC and PlayStation 4. And I know from a couple of other Twitch streamers on here, anyone who's from the Citadel, welcome. Thank you for joining us. But yeah, that game is fantastic, and it's an updated version of Space Hulk Deathwing with new graphics. I believe there's a couple of new modes as well. So that's something really cool.
Yeah, it's not looking too bad. That's now available for €32 in the German Steam store.
I might pick it up myself.
Another great game that's also out tomorrow is Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. And if you don't know why that is special, it's made by the guy who did the Castlevania games back in the day. It's the same game creator that's now behind this game. It was featured on Kickstarter, made, of course, all its money that it needed and additional stuff. And now, finally, I think after 2 years, the game is coming out. And on Steam, at least, we have it here. We don't have a price right now. I don't think it's going to cost more than €20, maybe 30, who knows. And it's just like back in the day, apparently. Just looking at these screenshots here, it's for retro game fans, that's just an amazing experience that you can get here. So have a look out over Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. Another game that I have not linked here because everyone knows about it, of course, is Dark Souls Remastered, which is coming out in 2 days on Friday for, I think, €40 around that for PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and of course also on the Nintendo Switch. Yet the Nintendo Switch version is coming out later. So yeah, it's coming out for that, but it's coming out later because the devs need to fix a few more things for that. And I guess because, well, the Switch is not as potent as the other consoles and platforms. So yeah, for all the other people, they can play the first Dark Souls game in the remastered version. And apparently it's running really well, really good update for that. 1080p, 60 FPS, even in Blighttown apparently, which seems to be like the most difficult part of the game to be rendered, with lots of stuttering on the other versions. So yeah, that's good to see. That is coming out now. And the people actually that have the Prepare to Die edition will get a 50% off voucher for the Steam version.
Nice. Yes, Dark Souls, the only game where I couldn't even get past the tutorial. Sad times.
Yeah. The next game that we have also is a big platformer, and it's the PlayStation title Detroit Become Human by the French studio that also did other games like Beyond
Souls,
Beyond Two Souls, right?
Which is a game that I am currently playing right now.
Oh,
well, not right now, but I played it earlier today.
Yeah, it's out on for PlayStation Plus owners, I think, on the PlayStation 4. You can play the ported version. I played the original PlayStation 3 release back in the day, and that was one of the few last titles from that generation, and it looked amazing already on PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And the actress who plays the main character, I believe her name is Ellen Page, she's fantastic.
Yeah.
And luckily, going back to Detroit Become Human, I played the demo for that, and my goodness, it's so good. If you like anything to do with dystopian futures or robots or moral decisions or even just investigating places, you will absolutely love Detroit Become Human. It really rewards you for looking in the nooks and crannies. It really rewards you for thinking tactically and going, how can I interact with this individual to talk them down from whatever they're doing, or we don't know what the other scenarios are going to be, but the scenario they gave us was talking a robot down from, or an android down from taking a little girl hostage. So, cannot wait to have that come out on Friday. I am going to be absolutely glued to my monitor.
All right, and that's it for this week. Next week we have a few more titles. Something that I definitely need to talk about is Bunker Punks, which just looking at it is like a Doom classic down in the basement shooter game, but with 8-bit pixel graphics, so like really nice aesthetic pixels. You basically just build your bunker down there, and then you have to defend it. And as it looks like, it's just like Doom back in the day, but with that pixel charm. So if you have the stream open, you have to see the trailer right now that they're putting out. It looks amazing, and it's out on the 28th, so next week. And it costs $14.99, so it's not even much. And I'm definitely thinking about playing this just to have a look at it and to see if it's really that amazing how it looks right now on the trailer.
Yeah, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It looks like 7 minutes before this interesting reveal.
So I'd say we do a quick round. We have also on the 29th, the Sega Mega Drive Classics for PlayStation 4, which is, I think, around 50 games. That's out for €30. So if you're back into retro games from the Sega Mega Drive console, that's something that you should take a look at. Then we have Agony, that horror game, which was looking really amazing, but also very graphic. And that's now finally coming out on the 29th of May. After that, we have Moonlighter, which I just want to throw you at. Just take a look at the Steam page here and take a look at the trailer. It's about a guy that's in a store and that dreams of becoming a hero. And yeah, that premise alone, especially if you look at the trailers, how the animations are done, really fine adjustments, lots of frames to that, really cute looking, something that you might want to take a look at. Finally, we have Cultist Simulator, which is done by the guy that also did Sunless Sea and Fallen London. That's coming out on May 21st. And another game that I just say, hey, have a look at that, have it on your radar, and take a look at it. All right.
Awesome.
So that's the releases done very quickly. I hope you liked the show. Thanks so much for joining again. And of course, thanks to my co-hosts, Dan and Emily. Hope you had a good time here. I'm so glad to have you back again, Dan. It's nice to see you
Thank
back.
you so much.
And I think the audience does so as well.
It's good to be back.
Of course it is. Okay, then, guys, why don't you share where you can find you? Emily, what's your Twitter?
So my Twitter handle is EmilyHM45, and that's fine. What's yours, Daniel?
Mine is just below me to... Hang on. Is it this way or this way? I think it might be this way.
Correct.
It's this way. Yeah. At DJH331. And if you ever want to find me on the internet, just use that and you'll probably find me.
All right. And same for me. I'm at Houses, HAU5 Test. everywhere. And of course, we can be found over at thenewbyte.com and everything that has the option for having the name The New Byte, Instagram, Twitter, everything, Facebook. If you want to join our Discord channel, I highly suggest you do that. Come join our server. We have lots of fun. We have a bot that shares lots of cats and dog pictures. We love to do that. We also love to talk to you on a more private level, like how we do it on a daily basis. Maybe we do games together. So join that over at thenewbyte.com/Discord. It's that easy there. You'll find the invitation link. And yeah, my name is Hustis. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you next week again. Or for the people that are going to watch the Battlefield 5 review stream, I'll see you in 5 minutes. Thanks so much, and talk to you soon.
Bye guys.
Bye.